steak. It's what's for dinner tonight. But what are we gonna have with it for a side? Sure, we could have a baked potato, or we could have some French fries, or some mashed potatoes. The list goes on and on with the potato family. But instead, we're gonna have some couscous. I'm Executive Chef James MacInnis, and welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm gonna show you how to prepare a nice simple couscous to go with your steak. Alright, so we're going to start off with our couscous. I want to put vegetables inside of it that are roasted. So I'm choosing to use zucchini. I'm just going to quarter it. And some halved cherry tomatoes. If you want to get a container of cherry tomatoes that has multiple colors in it, it'll add a little bit of visual appeal to your couscous. So those are all going to go into a bowl. For secondary flavors, I'm going with garlic and ginger. So the garlic, grab a couple cloves, smash it with your knife, and then chop it up nice and small. I really like garlic and ginger as complementary flavors. There's nothing about it that I don't like, and I feel like in couscous that's a good way to good place to showcase it. For the ginger, I just take a little vegetable peeler, peel it up, cut off a little knob, and then slice it up just like it was garlic, nice and small. And that's going to get mixed, put into the mixing bowl with the rest of the vegetables, and we're going to season that up with some salt, pepper, and olive oil, and toss it all up very shortly. I'm still talking a little fast when I do this. I could probably slow down. So yeah, there we are with the salt, the pepper, and then some olive oil. And we're going to give it a couple tosses, put it on a small baking sheet, and then we're going to put it in the oven, 375 degrees, convection bake is what I did. Or no, convection roast. The difference being is that the bake only runs the fan when the oven is actively heating. The roast runs the fan nonstop. In that bowl, or that pot, I got my water, butter, salt, and some delicious homemade roasted chicken bouillon that I made a couple weeks ago. So now we're just seasoning the steak. Salt, pepper, garlic powder. Make sure you flip it over, season both sides. And, like I like to say, season it like you mean it. Be aggressive enough that it's worthwhile. You don't want to not taste the seasonings, but you don't want to overpower the meat. My wife likes her steaks well done. That's why you don't see hers moving at all. I like mine a little more on the rare side of things. When your water boils, you want to try and get your water boiling when your steaks are almost ready to rest. And then, because the couscous takes about 5 minutes to steam with it off, so that's the 5 minutes I use to rest the steak. Then in the mixing bowl or the pot, we're adding our vegetables to our couscous, giving it a good mix up with that ladle. And I'm just going to plate it right there in the center of my plate, and then I'm going to carve up my steak. So just put what you're going to eat in the middle of your plate. We both had 2 plates, 1 plate out of this, and there's some left over. I like to cut the back fat off of my steak, and I've seen some other comments on the internet where they say, hey, that steak's overcooked. How'd you dry it out? There's no juice coming out. Well, if you rest it properly, and you'll see how rare this is, it's rested properly. It's not going to leak everywhere on the cutting board. So you want to rest your meat about half as long as you spent cooking it. And you can see exactly how rare it is. And my cutting board wasn't a puddle of, and now there's my plate, a puddle of myoglobin. And there it is. That's my lunch. And I'm going to top it up with a little lemon juice. And there you have a nice, simple 25-minute meal. We got the vegetables cut up in less than 5. Got them into the oven to roast for 20. I know I only like to cook my steak for 5 minutes, so at the 10-minute mark on my roasting timer, that's when I started cooking my steak so it could rest. At the 5-minute mark on the roasting timer, that's when the couscous hit the water because it needs to steam in there for 5 minutes. So it all come together at the end to make this nice couscous, which picks up a lot of flavor off of that homemade bouillon cube or cylinder disc. The vegetables are cooked, but they're not overly tender, they're not mush. And the steak, maybe too undercooked for you. To me, it's perfect. That's the way I like to eat it. Nice and simple, just some salt, pepper, and garlic. I have half the steak on my plate, so this makes a perfect lunch portion, I would imagine, or a nice dinner if you use the whole thing. So, thanks for sharing this time with me in my kitchen, and I look forward to seeing you next time.